so here is the kitchen space, just so you guys can see. As you can see, it is pretty small. Like when I walk in here, there isn't a ton of walking space. So as you can kind of see, I've been working over here, by the way. The living room's here, there's like a little bar area here, and then the kitchen's right here. So this is what it looks like. It has this backsplash, which is honestly probably my least favorite backsplash of any apartment. I feel like any apartment complex just always decides to put this in their apartments when they don't have any design style or eye for anything. Sorry to throw the shade, but it's just true. It's like a glass backdrop. I think I want to do some new knobs on there, and then also redo the backsplash for sure in a way that is very renter friendly, and then just add some decor elements and just make this a little bit more pretty in general. Here is the finished first wall. This is like the main area because it has the biggest area of backsplash on it. Looks so good, but I'm gonna go in now and just cut off these excess tiles here. There literally are only 2 tiles in this whole thing, these ones right here, that have a little, like, not air bubble, but the tile that was underneath actually stuck out a bit. So those just have some character. Not too concerned about those. And I got it to go all the way under here. I had to do a little bit of patching right here. If you can tell, these are like little tiny strips. Also still gonna be doing this whole section here, all the way around here, and then also up kind of behind the refrigerator there. But it's now a couple days after I did the first filming section, which was kind of putting down the brick, and I actually in the meantime finished all of the brickwork. It looks so good. These peel and stick tiles were actually pretty easy to work with, so I do highly suggest them. I'm gonna make sure to link them below for you guys, because if you want like a quick and easy kitchen fix, I feel like this definitely makes a great impact. I actually also did it on the side pieces here, well only on this side, so it kind of wrapped around, which I think looks really pretty. And then last night my roommate and I did a little bit of shopping. We went to Target and Home Depot. I have to head into Home Depot pretty quickly just to get a couple of items. I'm actually not gonna spend very much here at all. I just need a piece of wood cut down and some rope to create this hanging shelving unit that I want to put above the sink. For the hanging shelf, I'm going to pick up this 6-foot piece of common board, and it looks like it's probably about 6 inches wide as well. This is going to be perfect to cut down into 3 22-inch sections. Making a quick stop at Target, which seems to be my favorite place to shop at ever. I'm wearing a flannel because it's still November, and I'm really excited because I'm gonna grab a couple of stuff for the kitchen makeover. I'm actually in like the hearth and hand section, and I'm just kind of looking for some things that might look good in the kitchen, but I'm trying to keep it very budget friendly. So far so good. I picked up these 2 little canisters. This is a little sugar one and then a flour one, which I think will add some nice texture to the countertops, and it has the wooden tops, which I wanted just to add that warmth factor. And the same thing, I added this marble and wood paper towel holder. It's just a little bit nicer than the one we currently have, and I definitely think it was time for an update on this. I saw it in McKenna, XO McKenna's kitchen makeover, that she put this rug in there, but she actually got the runner version of this rug. But I found that they had a little miniature version, which I think would go great in front of the sink since the space isn't that big in the kitchen. It also matches my shirt, which is quite nice, and I think this is really cute, and it's a bit cheaper than the actual runner. How much is this? This was $19.99, and I believe the runner is like $50. Oh, Marie, they do have the runner. It's right here. 7 feet long. This is 7 feet long, so I feel like maybe just this will be a nice element. Because this is $44.99 and this is only $20, which gives me $25 more to put somewhere else. I'm going to be adding handles to all of the drawers and cabinets, which I got from Amazon, which I will show you guys in just a second. They are so good and affordable. And then also creating this DIY that I have for this wall here and decorating. So let's just get started. So the handles and the knobs that I got for the kitchen are so good. These are the little handles that I got. They look like this. They're in a black, like just kind of farmhouse vibe. And then the other handles I got are these ones, which are the longer ones for the actual cabinets. And then these ones are gonna be for the drawers. They're from this Amazon brand called Revinte, and I'm gonna link these below for you guys because I think I got 10 of these and 15 of these, and the total was like $32 with shipping. But let's get started with putting these on the actual drawers. So I also took a little bit of cardboard from the top of the packaging, created this template here, which basically allows us to put it over the top of the cabinet, mark your holes, and then just repeat on all of them. So everything is gonna be perfect and we don't have to do measuring on every single one. Time for the do-it-yourself project of the video. I have been super inspired by open shelving in kitchens. I just love how it displays like kitchen items. I really love it and I want to make my own. So I'm starting off with a little bit of wood, some rope, ceiling hooks, and some early American wood stain. And basically I bought a simple plank of wood that was 6 inches wide and I had it cut down to 22-inch sections, and I'm using some paper towel to apply on one coat of the early American stain. I believe this is a popular wood stain color, but I absolutely love the color. It's like the perfect mid-century tone of wood. I think it's really, really stunning. So the next what I did was I used a 1/2-inch drill bit and I just drilled in all 4 corners of all 3 planks. That way we're able to then string through our rope. And just to give you guys a guideline, I actually just cut like 12-foot sections of rope just to be safe, but you can really cut however much you think that you're going to need, and then you're going to string it through your first plank. And I found that using one of these like fabric rulers was a little bit easier than a traditional one, but I also kind of just eyeballed the entire thing. I'm not a huge measurer, as you guys know, so I just kind of eyeballed it. And then what I did when I had the 2 top sections done is I went ahead, marked 2 holes, and then I drilled through the ceiling, added in my anchors, and then screwed in these hooks. And I got these at Home Depot, by the way. They actually came with anchors and they hold up to 30 pounds, but they actually had one as well that was up to 60. So the next what I did was I just strung through my second shelf, and I had my roommate hold it just so we can kind of gauge how it's going to lay. I do suggest adding something heavy to each shelf as you work down, and then once you have all your knots, what I did was I actually went ahead and tightened them and then added a bit of Fabri-Tac to each of the knots just to make sure that they stayed, cut off the excess, and that was the finished hanging shelf. Okay, so the kitchen is basically done. I just finished hanging up the shelf, which looks so good on top of that brick backsplash. We did the backsplash, we did all of the handles, and now it's time to just add all of the finishing touches, like the decor elements, the couple new things that you guys saw me pick up at Target, at the thrift store, and just some of the stuff that we already have. So let's just get to decorating, and then I can reveal to you guys the final kitchen. Time for the reveal, so let me share with you guys the kitchen in 3. enjoyed today's video. This kitchen makeover is one that I've just been wanting to do since I started in my apartment, but I really didn't know what I could change, and just the small tweaks that I did in the space, I think really created such a nice visual impact. Of course, I can't change things like appliances or countertops or flooring. Those are things that you just have to keep kind of in a renter-friendly apartment, but I did add things such as the peel and stick tile, this really cool shelving kind of unit system, all the new handles and such. But of course I do rent this apartment, so I wanted to make sure everything was renter friendly at the same time. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Anything that I did use in the video, I'm gonna make sure to link in the description box below for you guys, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for brand new home decor and DIY content every single week. I'm gonna be posting
Good morning, happy bank holiday. I am so excited because I've got 3 days off and I get to do what I love. I get to spend my time in my kitchen doing some DIY. I've given myself like 3 days just in case this takes me a super long time, because I don't want to go back to work and not have this finished and completely perfect. If you've been following my channel, you might already know that I have previously covered these kitchen cupboards that used to be like a tan colour with this matte grey vinyl from DC Fix. And it's amazing what a difference it's made to my kitchen. And these tiles used to be cream colour and I painted them white, and it looks much better. But I've been gifted some amazing products from a company called Create Your World Limited, and these are basically the DC Fix products and the things that I've used before, apart from this tile one here. That is going to be put over my tiles, and I'm ridiculously excited about this. I have a little bit of a thing for really nice tiles, but I can't afford really nice tiles. So I'm going to cover these disgusting old tiles with this amazing vinyl stuff that looks so beautiful. And it kind of looks like real tiles, if you didn't know. I mean, I have this thing about telling everybody, like, well, you could say that they'll look like real tiles if you don't tell anyone. But the first thing I'll do when people walk through my door is, oh my god, have you seen this stuff? They're not real. I have got to first do all the prep work. So first of all, I need to remove the old vinyl, because I've also covered my worktops in this vinyl stuff already, this wood effect grey colour. But since doing that, I've painted the walls grey as well. It's a little bit too grey, especially if I'm going to change the tiles to grey tiles as well. It's going to look a little bit too grey. Yeah, I'm going to change it to another wood effect from DC Fix, but it's more of it's got a little bit of a brown tone to it, not too brown, so it's still kind of in keeping, but it will just warm it up slightly, I think, and just kind of just give a little bit of a break between the grey and just kind of, yeah, add a little bit something different. First of all, I need to take off that. I need to remove all of the old sealant, which I don't know what's going on, but whatever sealant I used and however I did it, I mustn't have done a very good job, or I've just got it wet way too many times and it's all kind of disintegrated and disappeared. So I need to remove it, get rid of any residue of that that's left over, remove everything, wipe down the tiles, just make sure all of the plug sockets are as clean as I can get them, clean everything up, and then I can make a start. So I'm going to get stuck into all of that first. I had completely forgotten how hideous the surface was originally. It's weird, it hasn't been that many years since I've had that stuff on it, but it feels like I can't even remember when it was like this. I've removed all of the sealant now from here and made it as clean as possible, so I can get right down into the corner, into that little right angle with the tile wallpaper stuff. So yeah, I've never used this stuff before. I've been given this paste stuff to use as well. This is ceramic glue, basically. It's ceramic adhesive, so it will stick to ceramic things such as tiles. And I've asked, and apparently it's fine to do over painted tiles as well. if not even better somehow. So hopefully it will stick down really well, but I'm so excited to get this on the wall. Just to show you this stuff before it goes on my wall, it comes in a really big roll like this. There's plenty of it. You can order it to whatever size you need, basically. Just make sure you measure the surfaces that you're going to need to cover, and also just give that extra little bit measurement as well, just obviously so that you can cut the straight lines, because you don't want to order the exact amount just in case it's slightly wrong. Also just order a little bit extra in case you make any mistakes, which I have no idea if I'm going to do or not. But this stuff is beautiful. So it is waterproof as long as you use the sealant to seal it, and it's really wipeable and everything. The surface is really smooth, and it's quite thick as well. It's a nice kind of a nice thickness to it, and it's really bendable and stuff, so hopefully it should be easy to apply to the wall. So yeah, I'm going to give this stuff a shot. Thing I've never actually used. They come in a pack. What's the other piece to it? They come in a pack, and you get the little applicator, so it's got a smoothing thing. Every time I've done it, I've literally just used my hand, so I use this part of my hand as that. So I'm really excited to try this out, and hopefully it'll just be easier, not as difficult as using your hand. And usually I just use quite a big one of these scalpely things, but I'm hoping this might be even better to use than that one, because I'm pretty sure, I mean, you've just seen that I've been using that to get rid of all the sealant, so like it might even be blunt by now. I don't even know whether this is a nice sharp one, so hopefully it will really help. beautiful. It was a little bit of a challenge at first just because I was really stumped as to how to go around the plug sockets, but I managed it in the end. So now it's time to put this lovely stuff on the worktops. So this is actual, like, I don't know, do you call it vinyl or sticky back plastic kind of stuff? I was calling this vinyl earlier. This isn't really vinyl, it's, well, it might be, but it's more like wallpaper basically. It's like just putting on like a thick rubbery wallpaper. But I'm pretty amazed as how much these actually look like tiles. I'm so excited, it looks beautiful. But I really need to get rid of this hideous worktop, so I think this is going to look beautiful. I've had a little break and tidied around my kitchen just because I kind of made a little bit of a mess whilst I was doing that, but it's all done and it was totally worth it, and now I'm going to give this a go. done. It looks absolutely beautiful, if I do say so myself. Oh my god, I love it. What to do now is to put a sealant line all the way across all of the edges all the way over here and also all around my sink as well, just to stop it from, you know, yeah, from water getting underneath and just to seal all of the edges. And it's the most messy job. I don't know, I tend to get it all over me anyway. I don't know whether anyone has any tips. You'll probably put some tips in the comments now, and it's going to be too late because I'm going to be head to toe in this stuff. I bought a more expensive one this time, I think, than I used last time, just in case. That's why it kind of disintegrated into thin air after a while. So this is the Unibond one, and it's a triple protection, so hopefully we'll stop any mould, we'll see. And I've bought it in white because, just in case any of my lines ended up being a little bit dodgy, I thought the white would cover it, as opposed to using a translucent one where you'd be able to still see what I'm trying to hide underneath with this. So I decided last minute that I will use a clear sealant to go around the sink. I just feel like the white's quite, and I think around the sink it will just look a little bit too much, because I think that's what I did last time. Anyway, all done. I am so happy with this kitchen. It's ridiculous. It's just like I've got a brand new kitchen, and it just doesn't even cost that much. It's unbelievable. This morning when I started this challenge, I was literally not sure if I could do it, and when I started ripping off the old one, I was just like, why have I started this? Why? I loved my worktop, but this has just turned out so well, and I'm so glad that I did it. And yeah, it really wasn't all that difficult. It's taken me pretty much all day, but I have been filming as well as doing it, so if I was just doing it without filming, it would have taken me much less time. It's about 5 o'clock now, and I think I started about 10ish, so it has literally taken me a work shift. It's taken me a long time, but I am so happy with the results, and I hope you like what it looks like, and I hope it inspires you to give this a go, because I rave about this stuff to everybody. It's ridiculous. I just want to cover everything in my house with stuff. I just can't believe that I can transform my kitchen whenever I feel like it. If I fancy a change one day, I can change this. I don't ever want to change this right now though. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much to Create Your World for letting me work with you on this video. It's my first ever sponsored kind of video ad thing, and as you all know, I love DIY, I love this DC fix anyway. I would never ever do something and promote something that I do not absolutely love, and I've had this stuff covered on so many things around my house, and it's lasted so well, so I love this stuff, and I will always love it forever and ever. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go, and seeing as we can't cook in our kitchen tonight, just because I just want to let it settle, you know, I'm gonna go and get a Chinese, so see you next time.
Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a little bit of a different video, but before we get into that, I just wanted to kind of do a little explanation. First of all, I haven't posted a video in a few days. It's been a crazy last couple days between this project, and if you're new to my channel, I'm a mom of 3 little girls that are under the age of 2. So I'm potty training my 2-year-old, my 1-year-old is still cutting teeth, and then my 5-month-old is starting to cut teeth. So it's been a little crazy, needless to say, but I'm back in the swing of doing things, and I get just the craziest ideas at the worst times to do projects, I'll be honest with you guys. But it's like therapy for me. I love to paint, I love to redo things, and I'm constantly changing things and just making things the way that I like them. I have a certain look I like to go for, and so it's just fun for me to do that. But I wanted to tell you all that we actually rent this home, so I can only go so far with some of the things I do. Like paint is my best friend. Paint makes things look a lot different, and so I did a lot with paint on this project, and I will be linking everything below that I possibly can of the different things that I used in case you guys want to try doing this. I know that Amazon probably will carry some of the things that I used to do this project, and if you hear a rumbling sound, it's my husband leaving. Anyways, I'm really thrilled with how this whole thing turned out. I still have a couple little knickknacks to do, but I wanted to show you guys, and also I do a lot of vlogging and cleaning videos and things like that on my channel. So obviously you guys would see that the kitchen looks a lot different and would be like, what did you do? And all that. So I just wanted to get this video out there, and I hope that it inspires you to work on projects if you have been kind of thinking about doing some things. And the first clip that you're gonna see right after this is an evening clip. I usually get my ideas of what I'm gonna do if I have the stuff to do it at night. It's just, I don't know what it is. My mom is the same way. We're just project people, and usually we get the most inspired in the evening or at night, and we start projects, and then it goes on for a couple days and whatever. And with my kids going to bed, of course, that also probably brings the inspiration on. But anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna show you guys what I did, the process that I did, and I hope that you all enjoy it. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for a lot more videos like this, and just inspiration in general, like if you need cleaning motivation and those sorts of things. And I'm just gonna stop talking now, and you guys can see how I did everything. Alright, so this is obviously the before, and I started off by just taking all of the knobs off of the cabinets, and the screwdriver didn't cut it, so I got my husband's drill. Also, completely ignore the horrible painting clothes and the nasty looking hair. This paint is just from Walmart, and it's their white grab and go paint, and I just always use this so that I know that anything I paint white is that white, because there's a lot of whites out there. Alright, so it's the next morning, and this is what one coat of white looks like. Ooh, sorry about that. You can see kind of it's a little bit streaky. And then here you can see like what the other color looked like. So I'm really liking it. I can definitely tell like that the lighting in here is a lot different just from it being white. And that's what the open shelving is looking like. I'm going to eventually get some, probably from my dad this weekend, get some nail filler and fill this and just sand over it, and then just paint this side so that you don't see the nail holes. And whenever I paint on the subway tiles, I'm actually gonna paint them in here too, so it's gonna look like it goes all the way up, and you'll be able to see it behind like all of the glasses and stuff. And I dripped some paint on here, and just so you guys know, if you ever get paint on anything glass, just use a razor blade and it will scrape it right off. And also I wanted to say that like if I get it onto the hinges, the way you can get it off is just some nail polish remover and a Q-tip. So I'm not too worried about the hinges, although I did go around them with that little paintbrush just to make sure I don't get too much on them and make it a little easier to clean up. So I will check back in with you guys once I get the second. So I have this part all painted with one coat, and you can see there, you can definitely see the difference in it. And I think it's gonna take at least 2 coats, if not 3 coats, to get a really like solid white going on. And I am doing it with this roller brush because I feel like it's gonna give it a more smooth looking texture like tiles versus doing a paintbrush. So, because that would make it have like brush stroke streaks a lot like the cabinets do. Like you can see there in the light that it has brush stroke marks, and I didn't want that for the backsplash. So now I just have to do this side. Since the backsplash was like an off-white, so were the switch covers and outlet covers. So I'm just going to take this white spray paint and just spray paint them white and save a little bit of money on not buying white covers. I'm working on the second coat now of paint on the backsplash, the white paint. And if you can kind of see there, I think you can see the line by the light switch. This is what I've been using for the edges because, again, I don't want the brush strokes. So I've just been using this and dabbing it along the edges. I went online and looked up how big most subway tiles are, and I found a couple different sizes, but I'm gonna go with a 3x6. So I have a yardstick here, and I actually just marked where I'm gonna be measuring since I'll be looking at it a lot, and it'll just make it faster. I'm gonna draw it all on with pencil first before I actually do the taping and the painting. Alright, I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but there's really small marks I made every 3 inches all the way up. And now I'm gonna do it in here. I'm actually gonna fill this whole thing in first just for some practice, and I think I'm actually going to do a 3rd coat of paint on the actual backsplash. So I'm gonna practice doing the tile. Done, and you can see the skinnier lines is where I'm going to do the grout. I just wanted to explain to you guys a little bit why I'm using this method. If I was wanting to make it look like brick, I would actually freehand it so that it was like a little bit more imperfect. But subway tiles are like perfect. Like they're very pointy, they're very like square corners. So that's what I'm going for. So that's why I'm using the tape instead of just freehanding it over top of the pencil lines. All right, so the whole thing is taped up, and my camera is having major problems focusing tonight, but I think you can see. There you go. Now you can see it. I had actually ended up getting 2 different colors because if I was gonna do the countertop gray, I would have used like a grayer tint. But since I'm not gonna do the countertops now because my dad kind of gave me a little bit of constructive criticism, this corner of our countertop lifts up, and he said whatever I put on here will probably crack because this is loose. So I'm just gonna leave the countertops the way they are, which I think will work out if I use the right color grout. And eventually our landlords will probably replace this anyways, so I'm not worried about it. This will be painted, and so I can paint over it again if they replace it a different color. It's kind of flexible. So just so you guys know, I got this at Walmart in the crafts aisle, and it is in the color Beachcomber Beige is the color. So this is what I'm going to be sticking on up there, and I'm probably going to have to do more than one coat, I'm assuming. And we're back. So now I put on all of that color on the grout lines, and I used another one of these thingies, just dabbing along so that I wouldn't have brush strokes and it would look a little bit more gritty looking. So I'm gonna let this dry, and while this dries, I think I'm gonna put the last coat on the backsplash area. I'm just afraid in daylight that you're gonna be able to see the print through it, so I wanna do one more coat just to be safe. Alright, so I put the last coat on the backsplash, so that is completely done, and then I had enough paint left to put one coat underneath of the cabinets. And you guys might be wondering why I did that. Well, for two reasons. One reason is because I'm OCD about stuff like that and wouldn't leave it go, just like I'm going to be painting the inside of all of the cabinets, kind of taking my time over the next couple of weeks, like each cabinet, so I don't have to empty the whole kitchen at once. Then the second reason is because of the color, it would actually reflect onto the backsplash. So if I want the backsplash to look really white, I have to have this white too, otherwise it's going to like reflect that yellowy looking tint onto the backsplash if the underneath part is not painted white too. The other thing I wanted to mention super quick is I have done all of the stuff you guys have seen with half a gallon of paint. I had this sitting in our basement, and that's what I've been using, and I don't think I'll need to buy any more for the stuff I've done. Now to paint the inside of all of the cabinets, I'll probably need to get like another half a gallon, but and I also used the same color on the cabinets as I did on the backsplash, just so you guys know. It's the same stuff from Walmart. I put the second coat of the grout color on this, and I also got the second coat of white on the bottom of the cabinets. So I think tonight yet I'm going to peel those off and then get the grout lines going the other way, and then I think I'm going to do the pencil work on the backsplash, but I really would like to let that paint sit overnight before I put tape on top of it. I have the tape going the other way, and it's almost dry enough to peel off up there for the grout going the other way. And then I'm starting to draw in all of the tiles on the backsplash. At this point, I'm definitely starting to question my sanity and what in the world I was thinking of doing, but at least this part's all done. So now I just have to put in the paint, and so this is the grout going one way, and then I will be doing it going the other way. And then I am doing the herringbone pattern on the backsplash of the sink part here, because when I went to measure it out for the tiles, it actually is like 1 inch difference on either side. So you would have been able to see that. So I had to do something that would kind of play with the eyes so that you wouldn't be able to see that it was different, and it wouldn't make the window look crooked or something like that. We are making some progress, but we hit a hiccup. So I got all of the tape taken off for the grout going this way. This wall was pretty simple, but this happened right here. And don't worry, don't freak out. I think I can fix it, and because I figured out what's going on. So this is the sink area and it's the window. So I'm pretty sure that there was moisture on the wall whenever I painted it. So I'm just going to start over. I'm going to sand it again really good, and then I'm going to actually probably use a hair dryer on the wall. Really make sure it's dry before I paint, and like you can see there, so like anywhere, it was kind of funny, the closer I got to the window, the more it seemed to have issues, although this area didn't really have any issues. So I don't really know, other than it has to be linked to moisture. So I'm just gonna redo this part, and more than likely this will be my last little clip that I'm gonna record, because I'm gonna get the rest of it put together, and then you guys will see see the rest of it. There is some other little spots that peeled up, and I will be just touching them up. I kind of figured that would happen, and then I'll be sealing it all. So once it's sealed, it won't get moisture and stuff in it. And the other thing is too, is if you guys have a newer house that's not as drafty, you won't have to worry about this. Also, if you're doing it directly on a wall, like directly on the drywall, you wouldn't have to worry about this either, because it's a combination of the moisture and the texture of this backsplash. So I will see you guys when it's done. Here is the end result, and I couldn't be more happy with it. I do need to do a couple things yet, just like fill those nail holes, but I did go over all of it. You can see the shine there with a polyacrylic. I did 2 coats of the polyacrylic and let it harden, and so it's cleanable and I can wipe it all up. But I just really love the look of it, and I just like that the cabinets are brighter and lighter, and I don't know what more to say about it. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm standing in my kitchen because there has been a few things that I've wanted to do around here, kind of doing some reorganizing and a little bit of DIY. We're gonna get a lot in this video. I plan to film this between today and tomorrow because there's a couple things that I need help with from Corey later when he comes home from work. And the stuff is going to be so simple and things that you can do yourself or like find at Walmart. Just some really easy ideas. So let me kind of show you the kitchen, explain a little bit, and then we're gonna get started. All right, I didn't clean anything up because I'm gonna clean whenever I'm done doing some of this. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I need to paint the inside of the pantry. I also am going to make labels for all the bins that are in there and just clean it out really well. Eventually, I think, and I've been debating about this, so many of you guys have asked me if I'm gonna do any faux shiplap in this house, and I've been thinking about it. In our other house, if you guys have been subscribed for a while, you know that I did a ton of faux shiplap in that house, and I was thinking maybe if I did it in the back of the pantry and then did this wall, it could look kind of cool, or I would leave that wall go and then do like wallpaper in the back of the, I don't know, I'm not sure. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Would love to hear that. So that little project needs to happen. And then I've been kind of wanting to bring, let's go into the dining room and I'll show you. Okay, like I said, did not clean anything up. So you guys are seeing the real life situation here, but don't worry, you'll get some cleaning motivation in this video too. So this little stand right here, I actually want to put in the kitchen. Then I have a stand upstairs that I'm gonna bring down here and repaint it. There's gonna be a lot in this video. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch that around now. This also has some paint touch up that needs to happen on it. We had put this little latch on it that is from Amazon to hold it in. So if you have any cupboards, I will try to remember to link this below, because if you have any like cabinets that stay open or like don't close right, this little latch thing is really just perfect for that. And as you can see, like through the move, there was things that got kind of chipped up that need to be touched up on this. So like I said, I'm gonna bring that stand in here, and I don't know if I'm gonna make this a coffee bar for a while. I might try that out. I don't know what I'm doing with this cart, but I know I want to bring that in here and then make that kind of some pantry items that I have up in a different cabinet. And I'm going to go through my current coffee bar, and I love it. Honestly, I love where it's at. I love how it is all set up, but I also am somebody that likes change a lot, and I like to switch things around and whatnot. So I'm gonna try setting up my coffee bar on that little stand over there. We'll try it out. I may end up moving it back, but left on this side of the room. So I'm going to see what I can pull together. I'm probably going to take that sign down, and I might put another one up. I might just leave it down. I might put it back up in a different spot. I'm not totally sure, but I'm gonna rearrange this so that it looks nice. And fresh and clean. Really love how this feels. And I go back and forth between like making things very minimal and then I like adding things. Like right now the living room has a lot going on in it and I love it. Probably after a while I'll get more minimal again. But just kind of used mostly what I had here. I had this little canister over by the stove with those little plants I had going on. It's actually from Target Dollar Spot and you might be able to find it now. It was pretty recent, but I love this like rusty orange color. You can see it in my pots over there. The other thing I really like about this is it gave me a lot more counter space going on here. So I can do a lot more cooking and things like that over here. Then over here, I also kind of lightened things up, got rid of some of the stuff I had here, got a little bit more bright and light, which feels really good. Also, this feels very bright and light too. I don't know if I'll put anything on the chalkboard right now or just leave it like that. I really like it. I wanted to kind of make this a pantry that looked pretty, if that makes sense. So I have stuff up in here that I want to move down there, and I'm gonna make labels for all of these jars. And then, yeah, we'll get into all of this, but because I want to rearrange and then I'm going to put some of this stuff in drawers and reorganize all of this. Like I said, this is why I'm taking 2 days to do this video, because it's a lot that I have on my list. The other thing I want to do is repaint this door. It's really nicked up. So while I'm painting the pantry, I'm also, you can see, like that's not dirt. It's just like scratched off of the door. Since I'm going to paint this, I'm going to go ahead, empty it out, wash it out, and get the first coat of paint on this. We got the first coat, and I don't think the door needs another coat, but I wish you guys could see the door in person. Like, it looks like a completely new door. It was so dinged up and just had so many like scratches and everything all over it. It looks so good and feels so much cleaner because I obviously couldn't clean the scratches off of it. But I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. I'm loving all of this. I'm gonna be getting, somebody left a ball there. I'm gonna be getting everything all organized here soon, but for the moment I decided I think I'm going to put that cart that was out here underneath of this mirror right here and kind of be organizing out there for a little bit. This video is kind of back and forth and all over, but that's okay. It's just kind of how it goes. Sometimes projects don't go step 1, step 2, step 3. They just are all over. So this cabinet was upstairs in our bonus room, and as you can see, it really needs to be repainted. It's like really chipped up, but this will be a cabinet I will have forever and then pass it on to one of my girls because my mom passed it on to me, and I love the size of it. It's really pretty. It works really nice in here. I am going to take the hardware off of it and spray paint the hardware black. I thought about ordering different hardware, but I kind of think that once they're black, it will look really great. And then I'm going to roll it with furniture paint, the same color as the table. You can't see it very well here, but the same color as the table. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get a coat on it. I'll probably just put some bags underneath of the bottom so obviously I don't get it on the floor. The inside's not pretty at all, but I'm going to leave it the same color because this was the original color my mom painted this cabinet. And I just kind of like the fact that it is that color. I wiped it out and stuff, but it still just looks like all scuffed up like it did when I was little. So anyways, love that, and I just want to keep it that way unless one of my girls decides to. And this is as far as my hair made it today, and it's the way it's staying because we're gonna get a lot done. So last night I spent a good amount of time in the kitchen rearranging stuff, kind of moving things around, kind of figuring out what exactly I wanted to do today, how I wanted to organize the kitchen. I'm moving cabinets, like some things from different places. I also pulled out some bins that I had from the Dollar Tree that were in other places of the house that I swapped out for other things, just moving things around that I already have. I got the second coat on the little stand over here, and I have the handles done, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them back. I'll show you a little bit of what I was kind of working on last night. So I got the bins that are in that thing right there were up here on the top, and I had my Ziploc bags and stuff in there, but it was just an inconvenient place to have my stuff. Also, I will link the video below where I did these shelves to make them look a little bit more like a solid shelf instead of the wire rack ones, because that's what they are. It's also when I like initially did these baskets and stuff in here. So I put this up here. I'm gonna eventually put rice in here, and then I'm gonna make all the labels for everything today. I'm actually going to move the coffee mugs that are up here underneath of there. I added some bins up here also, and I'm gonna paint those. I'm hoping I have enough spray paint. So since these were up in those bins and they're not there anymore, I actually want to, this is our junk drawer. It needs to be kind of gone through a little bit, but I want to move this junk drawer to the drawer that's on the top of that. In our other house, that actually was our junk drawer, and it's a big drawer. It works perfect for that use. So I'm gonna move all of this stuff. So the Ziploc bags will go in here, and in here I got the laundry off the table. There's a lot of things just kind of from all over in here. I'm going to redecorate the top of this. I'm going to move around some of my plants that are in here. So this was over where I put that little cart, and I think I'm just gonna leave that there and then move this guy into the dining room. Kind of, you know, simple. tops of my jars in the cabinet over there, and I will have to cut them out. But if you are somebody that doesn't have a like label maker or something like that, this is the most convenient, cheap option ever. Sorry, my washer's going off. But these are basically like sticker paper. Like I said, I will have to cut them out individually, but they're sticker paper, and they go through any inkjet printer, which is pretty much any printer out there. So if you have a printer, you can make your own stickers. Here, I'll show you some others I made. So up here, I made these little guys right here, the Bye Bye Bugs and the Adrenal Aid, and I just cut them out, and I just think they look really cute. I don't think that you need anything too terribly fancy for something like this. Showing you whenever I have things flop or just do things that I don't end up liking. So I don't like how this looks. It's a good idea, and if you had something to be able to make this look a little more clean looking, just something about this, I don't care for the way it looks. So I decided to leave those without labels. These labels are more for the look of it. It's not really out of functionality. This is where all of my canned goods will be. Obviously that will be up there, and then this, and then in here will be like extra snacks more than likely. And then I did put the storage labels on the ones on the bottom because I thought they looked nice. And I did bring in my bins from outside. They could use a little more white paint, but I'm out. And the labels actually stuck really well to those, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave them like that. They look so nice. I have no idea what I'm putting in here. Again, I decided not to use the black part to attach the labels, but I stuck these on, and I added a little bit of Gorilla Glue to the back of the sticker to really make it stick on there so that it stays on. Slowly changing a lot of things out since I started making my own cleaners and stuff. So So this is where I keep all of my like dish rags and towels and stuff like that. And then this little thing, if you can see it, is actually from Target. It is the Magnolia line. It's actually like a vase, but it works perfect to hold like my scrub brushes and my little cleaners for the straws and stuff like that. All this is set up perfectly, but I wanted to get some decals for these glass jars right here. This is from my friend Bella at Bella by Design. She has an Etsy shop, and I love to order my labels and things like that for like my cleaning products, anything that I want to put on a glass bottle like that, where I want it to be durable and stay on there for a long time. So what I have down here is I've started making my own toilet bombs. So these, if you guys saw, I think in my last cleaning video, I showed you guys how they like fizz and they clean the toilet really well and they smell really good. So that's gonna go on that one. And then this one is actually my homemade dishwasher tabs. And I need to make some more. I don't think I'm gonna get to it today, but I probably will do it in my next video. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested in how I make my dishwasher tabs. And this is the label that will go on that one. All right, before I run off and take a shower and get this paint off my hands, all the good stuff, I'm really excited to show you how everything turned out. Here is the dining room, and if you guys have been watching for a while, you know that this table was my childhood table, and I redid it, got these chairs for it, and I just love this room so much. I did not get a chance to paint that bucket yet today. I'm not sure what color I'm gonna paint it. Let me know in the comments what color you think would look nice in here. Maybe even doing the same color as the mirror. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do. I left the centerpiece the same for now, but I love how this looks. I'm just so excited to have this piece down here and be using it. And this was such a great find. I think it was like under $10 at Ross. I had found a while back, and I knew I wanted to use it in here, and it fits so well, and I love just the little pieces that can go inside of it. I changed around the way that their table was. It had the 4 chairs, and I took one of the chairs back to Hazley's room and just kind of had it this way. I think it gives us a little more walking space here, and just works out a little bit better. And then this cord goes into the lighting that's inside of the pantry, and I need to get like a cord cover that goes along the wall. We have the same thing in our living room, just to kind of make that cord tucked away a little bit there. I'm really excited about this coffee bar. Corey was too whenever he came home last night. It's just kind of a nice little nook here, and it's actually given us a lot of storage. Down in here are my jars, and I did save this on my like editing my PicMonkey account, and I'm going to be able to like access it if I need more jars or need to change the labels. But I just love the way that they look. And then up here I've got all of our like coffee mugs and stuff, and to be honest, if we have more than this, I really think that's a little crazy for, you know, 2 people or just a few friends. So yeah, that's the way that looks on the inside. Okay, then over here, oh, and I wanted to also make note, Everly's sitting over there on the couch, the other 2 are taking their naps, but yeah, just how different it kind of looks without the bigger plant in here. But I kind of like it. I'm ready for a change in here, and I like the smaller plants. Oh, and also I can show you guys this little corner. So this is kind of how this turned out. I like it. I may end up changing it around, I don't know, because I might want to put another bigger plant here eventually, but for now it's cute, and I love the colors that it brings in. Then under the sink, you guys had seen how it looked before. I did add some little hooks in here for my kitchen cloths that I use from Norwex, and then down here I did add these little labels. I love the way that they look. This is like where we keep our trash bags and the rest of my cleaners and stuff. This drawer I didn't need to do anything to. It's just kind of odds and ends, and then where we keep our knives. Here, same thing. I didn't really have to do anything to this. It's just where like my big mixer is, and then my mixing bowls. Got the lids for the kids stuff. Their cups go in here, which there's a bunch of them in the dishwasher right now, and then just empty space for the moment. I don't know if I'll get more bins for in here for other things or what I'll do in there. And then over here is our like dishes and that pretty much stayed the same also. This is our silverware drawer, just a super simple drawer, and I love these dividers from Target. I have another one you'll see on the other side. They're just simple and you can clean them out really easily. Then down below here I've got all of my like containers and just things that we would store food in, and then this bin just holds all of my lids. This pretty much stayed the same also. Okay, up in here you guys saw all of that, and I didn't add anything to the bottom. I don't know what I'm gonna do in there yet. Below here is just where like all of my cooking utensils are, and this is also from the same line at Target that I really like. Where I keep my Instapot, also where I put my hot pads and just a couple extra cooking things. I use this so often. I'd say I use this almost every other day. So this is something I just need to be able to get to easily and quickly. Up in here, nothing really changed. This is like where I keep my essential oils and like supplements. Then I did add that in actually down where the lids are, you guys saw. There was a bunch of my silicone molds that I used to make a lot of different things, and they were kind of annoying because they were floppy and didn't really fit in where the lids fit. So I went ahead and just stuck them up here, and they're tucked away, but yet I can get to them quick. Now in here is all of my Ziploc bags, which is convenient. Then down in here is where I keep my blender, my cutting board, and that bin holds some other random stuff that I use. This now holds the junk drawer stuff, which is really convenient. I like that this is all in here, and I like the size of this. We kind of need the extra room anyway. Last but not least is the pantry, and this door, every time I walk past it, I'm like, it looks so much better since I repainted it. It was in such bad shape. So here is the pantry, and you guys got a pretty good look at it before and pretty much explained where everything is. I love this thing down here. Usually whenever I show it, people want to know where that like cube system's from. It's from Amazon. I will try to remember to link it below. And our trash can that's in here that I cannot seem to make look shiny no matter what I use on it. I think it's just a cheap stainless steel type stuff, and now it's all marked up and it's just the way that it is. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. If this inspired you, definitely give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll see you guys in my next video.